look, City in their last 2 games have picked up a trophy and then beat the shit out of their biggest rival in the last 5 years, 4-0. And I think that Milo's been mentioning it for a while, but it's the thing that always comes up around this time of year. Like it hits this international break, and then Shark Team appears, and they smell blood in the water, and they usually go and eat. So, Mila, a 4-0 smacking of Liverpool. How you feeling?
I feel fantastic. Almost as fantastic as Grant feels after the Super Predicky. Like that was great. We seem to find a style that's working against the best teams, and it's basically letting them play, try to outplay us in the midfield and see if you can do it. And I'm enjoying it. It's just more momentum going forward towards the end of the season, while Arsenal's momentum is going the opposite direction. So hopefully we could do a little high five with them in terms of that and the table. But yeah, Holland's back. Hopefully that continues. I don't know what we want to talk about. There's so many things to talk about in this game, I think.
I think I want to start with Holland because when you talk about Shark Team, that's the one guy that we've been waiting to get back going again. And a hat trick against Liverpool is like, and it wasn't just like a hat trick, it was the style of goal that he scored in this one where it was like, that's a proper Holland performance. Like puts away the penalty, he's got the header, and then was it 2 headers? I can't remember.
One header.
But the one header was like a proper big man header where he just puts Semenyo great again and then scores it. And I think that when you talk about Shark Team, like the guys that will constantly reoccur in that theme, Holland's got to be your best player through this stretch because if he's scoring goals, like you guys become unstoppable to a certain nature. So
yeah, of the old guys, I think he needs to lock in. I think the other guys that have been here a while have been.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like
for the most
Bernardo
part.
and Rodri have been
Bernardo,
pretty good.
Rodri, yeah, but then also like all these new guys that have come into the team and continue to show that philosophy throughout the club, I think is phenomenal. It's Cherky, Semenyo, Kusanov, even like Nunes is there now. Nico O'Reilly's through the club, but it's a new face in the club. All of them are basically displaying what I wanted to see out of them. And I think I've been talking about it for like a couple months now, 3 months. If we were ever going to claw our way back in this title, it was going to have to be like this. Just whatever happens, don't give up hope until we can no longer win it. And I feel that they are doing that. That idea is circulating through the locker room, it seems, through Pep. And you can see it on the pitch. That, like I said, the momentum that they're gaining, knocking Arsenal, not knocking them out, but beating them in the final, getting silverware, making Arsenal have to watch that. Liverpool knocking them out convincingly, not just a 1-0 cruise by, but a 4-0 beat down. And now we have another big game coming up, and I think if the Shark Team is there, it should be fun for me and not for Grant.
I think if your team's bus gets to London and the same players that we've been trotting out in defense all year trot out, save it for later, but I think you'll be all right.
I do want to also talk about one player in particular that I think from a professional standpoint, no, it's not Cherky, it's Trafford. He saves a penalty.
Yeah.
He's had 2 clean sheets in back-to-back matches. I mean, they've asked him to be the cup keeper. And for someone who I don't think anticipated being the number 2, has come in and has just been a professional the whole way through. And I don't think that you can say that about a lot of 2s. Most of them try to get that big move away, and he still might. But to be fair to him, he's played so good in this backup role that he deserves potentially that move away if he wants it. And I just think that the level of composure from him to be this good when he hasn't had that many minutes is pretty impressive. But to the Shark Team nature, it's not just one guy. It's like the whole structure that usually ends up winning you guys trophies. And
yeah, I mean, look at some of our big seasons, like not only Ederson having big moments, but Ortega having insane moments. And we can go back to other keepers, backup keepers having big moments throughout the years. Caballero in the final against Liverpool in the shootout. Like that one sticks to my mind. So I think it's just a thing at this club that even if you're by definition the number 2 goalkeeper, you're never out of the starting job if you work hard enough and prove that you can take it. And especially with Trafford, like I want to go back to the beginning of the season when we were talking on here. I said we have the 2 best goalkeepers in the league, or 2 of the top 5, I think is what I said.
Mhm.
And I still stand by that, even though Trafford hasn't played nearly that much compared to some of the rest of the keepers in the league. He's played in big games. And when it comes down to those big games, he has performed. He has clean sheets in both of them. And he makes an argument to stay, not only get a move out, but maybe just stay, be the one that stays. Donnarumma's had some talk of leaving already, whether that just be his agent being a little shit or
Is an issue.
whatever. Like Trafford has potential to be the long-term goalkeeper, 10-year plus goalkeeper at this club. He has ties with the club, and he does a lot of what Donnarumma does, and he can certainly learn to do more than Donnarumma in that time. It's just what direction does the club want to go in when it comes to the goalkeeper?
He looked really good on the ball, which I think is impressive for someone who's not really playing, because that's something that comes with game time, right? Like you can't replicate that type of pressure. So, yeah, I think he showed a lot of that composure. But yeah, I just wanted to mention Cherokee because, I mean, it seems pretty obvious, but we've said it before where it's like he should probably be playing, and it's just such a difference maker. He's such an X factor, and the more comfortable he gets, you're starting to see more of his personality. He's just a giant troll. But again, people that complain about that, I don't know what you want to watch, right? Because I'm this type that would complain about obviously Arsenal style of play and that general sort of, the deadness. We're losing Mavericks, all that shit. Don't complain when you get one. That's how you lose them. So like I'm all for it. Obviously we were linked to him. It's a shame we didn't sign him, but yeah, he's absolute class. It's entertaining. Like as a neutral, that's what you want. So I'm all for it, and especially because at some point you will get humbled, and you see how he responds to that, right? And you see the character grow from there. But yeah, I'm just a big fan of his game.
Yeah, he keeps it a buck. Like whether it's he's getting shit or he's feeding it back out, like there is no. It is very back and forth, and there's never a point where I think he takes it the wrong way or he's dishing it out too much in the wrong way. Like he is the perfect definition of a troll. It's mostly harmless, but it's prideful.
The shit he does with Pep, just, like he shoved him after they won, like that's funny, bro. Come on,
it is funny.
I think the thing with that is like Pep clarified it a little bit recently. I think like yesterday or today, but he said it's okay to have those moments, but just don't do it the entire game because then you're putting a target on your back.
It's true.
The shirt on at the bench.
So it's not that he's not trying to cut that out of the game completely. It's just know when to pull it out.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's never played for a club of this level of expectation before, so you can't like expect it. But to your point, like if he's going to take the leap from being like the Maverick style player that is just going to give you moments to consistently being great, right? That's where you get into the conversation.
It's a mix, yeah. I mean, he can still be that free spirit that he is. That's what makes him a great player already. But with Pep, like he's gonna just teach him how to control that. I think.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we get a little more of that of Pep and Cherokee, but I don't know how long we'll get that.
He not from a stylistic standpoint in the way they play, but he just reminds me so much of Bruno. Like a lot of the things that we talked about with Bruno when he first came into the league, in terms of just him being so polarizing, but in a good way. Cherokee, the exact same thing for me. And their style is different. Like he's more of a techie dribbler and he's got the fancy footwork, but they impact the game in similar ways where you're like, oh shit, like this guy he took over the game in about a 10-minute period here.
Yeah, and I think if we're talking about guys that took over the game, I think Kusanov, we have to talk about him.
Yeah.
He's our number one center back at this point. I've seen a lot of chatter about it. Anyone paired with Kusanov is going to do okay because he's just so rapid. The chance with Salah is like ridiculous to me. He headers it, falls, gets up, blocks the shot. all before Gehi can get involved in the play. And Gehi's not some scrub of a center back. Like Kusanov is just this good. And then on top of that, he can carry the ball forward with power. He can pass the ball forward with speed. Like, he's very special. And I'm very happy to have the quiet little Uzbek man.
Yeah, in our next video to kind of like preview that to keep you entertained. I'm assuming that we're going to talk about some players in that mold when it comes to underrated and overrated. He is everything good. He is what people talk about Van de Ven. And I'll leave it at that.
Who are those people?
I don't know. But he is everything that they say about Mickey Van de Ven. I think Kusanov is better at and is actually fitting that mold.